What are the steps when you're actually doing a deal? Cold calling is the best method, without a doubt. Any major red flags that might put the deal in jeopardy. That is the deal from start to finish. What's going on, guys? So in this video, we are going to talk about the M&A deal process. What are the steps when you're actually doing a deal to buy a business? We're going to take you right from the beginning, from the initial outreach and when you first make contact with the business, all the way through to signing of that dotted line and having actually purchased the business. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, step one, of course, is the initial outreach. Okay. Now, there are a couple of different ways that we can look at doing this. So what we want to do is we want to reach out to as many businesses as possible within our industry or specific business targeting mandate, the businesses that we want to buy. Cold calling is the best method, without a doubt. So that's what we do a lot of. You can cold email. LinkedIn is great. So ultimately make a list of all the businesses that you want to reach out to and then start getting in touch with them. I know most people hate cold calling, but it's the fastest way to get an answer, whether it's a yes or a no, and you're going to have to get used to a lot of no's. The other thing we can do is we can speak to brokers or brokerage websites. And I don't really like this one because the good businesses generally don't make it to brokers. They get sold before that. If it makes it to a broker, it's probably not the greatest business to buy. And it's the same deal with the brokerage website. So it's always best to reach out directly to the business owners because what we want to find is motivated sellers, people that are very keen to sell because they're retiring, they got a divorce, they're just sick of the business, whatever it might be, so that we can get the best price. Then, of course, networking. We can go to industry events. We went to an industry event and set up a booth, sponsored the event a little while ago. That was really, really great for us. So that's effectively how we want to get in touch with the businesses. We want to reach out. We want to say, hey, we are building a group of XYZ businesses and we're looking to add more businesses to our network. Have you guys thought about potentially selling the business or partnering up with a group like ours? That's the outreach. Super, super simple. Don't need to overcomplicate things. Then more often than not, they may ask for an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. That's totally fine. Send them over an NDA. You can just get a template for one of those online and then you can start talking. Now, once you've chatted and you understand whether or not they're interested and whether or not the business at a very high level suits you and fits you, we enter preliminary discussions. Okay. These preliminary discussions are effectively collection of high level financials. Okay. We want to get their last 3 years financials. We want to get a list of non-operational expenses from them, and that'll pretty much do it. And we just want a high level understanding as to how the business actually runs. From there, and we also want to get their selling price. How much do you need to get for the business for this to make sense to you? That's the question that we want to ask them. How much do you need to get? Not how much do you want, because everyone wants a lot. How much do you need to get for the business in order for something like this to make sense to you? From there, we want to arrive at an offer, okay? If you present your offer, you get into the negotiation, you start low always, and you work your way up. And then once you can agree on an offer or a range, the next step is to send a letter of intent. Now, a letter of intent is a non-binding legal document that effectively outlines the deal terms, the terms of the deal. In our letter of intent, we have basic selling price or selling multiple of the business. We have some exclusivity in there. We want to say that, for the duration of this due diligence that we're going to be conducting, we don't want you to speak to anyone else about selling your business because we're obviously going to be investing quite a lot of money in the due diligence stage. So please don't do that. And then this is when our firms get involved, which we talked about in the other video, and any other key conditions. So for example, does the seller have to stay on for 6 months or 12 months? How long do they have? What salary are we going to be paying them, and so on and so forth. So very high level terms. Once the letter of intent is signed, we go into what is called due diligence. Now, due diligence is when your law firm and accounting firm take all of the information that you've gotten, as well as provide checklists for further information, go through all of it with a fine-tooth comb, prepare a quality of earnings and due diligence reports. Okay. Now, once we get, so the whole purpose of due diligence is to verify the information, make sure it's all accurate, as well as look for any major red flags that might put the deal in jeopardy, that might make it difficult to run the business, any skeletons in the closets, tax liabilities, anything like that. That's why I want to work with a really good firm, because if something goes wrong, at least there's some recourse. Once we get the quality of earnings, we want to go to the banks, okay? So we take the quality of earnings, we go to our potential funders, we present the deal to them, along with our CFO, our accountant, and then they give us term sheets. Okay? Once we've got term sheets, we know we can fund the deal. Then we have the final stage, definitive agreements and closing. The law firm now prepares your definitive sale agreements, your contracts of sale, your asset purchase or share purchase agreements. And we have closing day. We all sign those deals and then the business is yours. After this, we have integration, if applicable. And this doesn't apply to anyone. Now, the ideal case is the owner wants to stay involved long-term, 5+ years. He just continues to run the business. You move straight on to your next acquisition. You put together a beautiful portfolio of 5 or 6 businesses. You sell the group for a multiple higher than what you paid for each of the businesses, and you make a whole bunch of money while not having to operate the businesses on a day-to-day basis because the operators have stuck around and have been involved all the way. That's ideal integration. Not so ideal integration, and this is not bad. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If you already have 50 doctors' practices, it should be pretty easy, is where you let the seller go after a period of 3 months, 6 months, a year, much shorter period, whatever it might be. And then your systems and processes from your group and from your other businesses are inserted into that business so that that business can tuck into your corporate group, which is obviously far more involved, and then you're getting involved in an operational perspective. We do a combination of the two, where we have some of our systems and processes folded into the business, as well as the operator staying involved for a period of time, an extended period of time, but also not forever. And we have an operational person whose job it is to do the integrations. He's our head of integrations and operations. So that is the deal from start to finish. That should pretty much take you through everything that you need to know at a very high level. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know your feedback. I'm looking forward to hearing back your thoughts on the video. And let me know if any of you have started on this journey as well. Thank you.